Howdy folks, Krigster Senior Hot Nuts Diecast. Gonna get ready to run a few funny cars here on Christmas Day. Got a few people hanging out here in the campground. The old Skunk Ape Swamp Run track, currently being used by some campers to hang out and watch the races. Check out the action firsthand here trackside. Got a few emergency vehicles over here on standby, ready to jump into action if need be. Looks like Santa Claus getting ready to do a stunt, jumping off a ramp, taking off. And we're going to get ready to run some cars here on old Moonshine Drag Strip. Welcome aboard. Hope you all are having a good day. Let's do a few laps. Alright, we're going to get right into it here. Now, some of these cars went unpicked. These two happen to be number 1 and number 32 in the group. We're doing a random bracket assignment, so mix things up a little bit, and it's going to be the best time out of 2 passes wins and moves on to the next round. So starting us off, Firebird Funny Car Blue 97 First Edition in lane 1. And in lane 2, we got the Johnny Lightning Big Daddy Don Garlitz. Let's see it. Pass. Johnny Lightning taking that one 1.485 to a 1.486 swap. Alright, we swapped lanes. Time to beat 1.485, laid down by Big Daddy Don Garlitz and that Johnny Lightning. And I forgot to mention, all these cars have been treated at the speed shop, so you're going to see some decent times out of all these cars. Looks like Big Daddy, even stronger run that time with a 1.478. Moving on. Alright, next up we have driving the Pro Circuit Edition Castrol GTX. It's branded as an Oldsmobile. It's a Ford Probe casting, same casting. That's driven by Juan V. V stands for Victory. And in the driverless lane 2, it's the He-Man Ford Probe. Let's see it. Looks like Pro Circuit taking that first one with a 1.469. Let's swap them. Alright, Juan V laying down a 1.469 in that Castrol GTX Pro Circuit. He-Man better step it up. Better get that power. Not happening. Juan easily taking it. 1.470. Moving on. Alright, this ought to be a really good race here. We got the Bonneville Probe driven by Dutch Clutch, Elevation Diecast, and Larry Stipe. And we have the purple Mach 1 Mustang driven by Rat Stack. Ought to be a pretty good race. Bonneville outweighing him by a little bit. See it. Oh yeah. 1.481. Let's swap them. Alright, we've swapped lanes. Time to beat 1.481, laid down by that Bonneville, being driven by Dutch Clutch, Larry Stipe, and Elevation Diecast. Rat Stack, you better get a move on here if you're going to move on. Let's see. No way. Not happening. Bonneville. Moving on. Alright, here we got another classic Hot Nuts matchup. We got Numbskull in that blue Ford Arrow in lane 1. And in lane 2, driving the orange Firebird Funny Car, we got Triple B from Shredder Speedway. A couple of heavy hitters. Let's see it. Looks like Numbskull took that one. First pass, 1.474. Let's swap them and see what they do. All right, we've swapped lanes. Numbskull laying down a 1.474 in that blue Ford Aero. Triple B. Better get that shredder. Let's go. That power. Oh, not happening. A 472 to a 482. Numbskull moving on. All right, next up we got another Pontiac Firebird. This one is the Tiki Edition. We got Mama Bombshell driving that one. And the driverless Don the Snake Prudhomme Vintage Hot Wheels Hemi Cuda. Let's see which one's faster. Close race. Took the Christmas tree out with a 1.494. All right, time to beat. So 1.494 laid down by Mama Bombshell in that white Firebird Tiki Edition. Don the Snake's got to strike if he's going to move on. Not happening. White Firebird taking that one. Mama Bombshell moving on. All right, next up we got an interesting matchup here. We got in the Chewy Ford Probe, we got Diecast Show Customs, and in the Kenner Fast Ones Fun E-Car, you got Craigster Sr. with Hot Nuts Diecast. And a little bit of knowledge there that was dropped on me. I don't speak Spanish, but Chewy apparently also means Jesus, and that is the brother-in-law of the designer of the car, according to Xavier. Thank you for dropping that knowledge on me. Let's see how these two pair up. Kenner Fast Ones taking it to a 1.494. Let's swap them. All right, Craigster Sr. being outweighed by a lot in that Kenner Fast Ones, but taking that first one with a 1.494. Chewy Probe's got to step it up. Not happening. Kenner Fast Ones, 1.486, moving on. All right, next in the starting gate, we've got the V-Man driving the Castrol GTX Standard Edition Probe Funny Car. And then we got driverless Dodge Hemi Cuda, or I'm sorry, Hemi Challenger, the purple one here, in lane 2. V-Man and a driverless. Let's go. Oh man, that Challenger, pretty quick. Taking the first one with a 1.485. Let's swap it. All right, we swapped lanes here. V-Man's got to beat a 1.485 laid down by that Hemi Challenger. See if he can do it. Nope, not happening today. 1.473 laid down by that Challenger. Good time. Purple Challenger moving on. Alrighty, next up we've got a driverless Duster there in lane 1 versus Slammin' Sammy driving the Mega Graphics Firebird Funny Car. Let's see which one's quicker. Close race with the Mega Graphics with a 1.496. Swap lanes to see. All right, we swapped lanes. We got Slammin' Sammy laying down that 1.496. And Duster's gonna be dust, looks like. Yep. Leaves him in the dust. 1.486. Firebird moving on. All right, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier I was running the left side of the bracket. Now this is the beginning of the right side of the bracket. And first up we've got Zip and Zeke in the 98 bonus car, the purple Firebird Funny Car, and a driverless Johnny Lightning Playing Mantis edition. Commemorative, let's see it. Oh, that Johnny got out, but boy, Zip and Zeke came around him with a 1.492. Let's swap them. All right, we've swapped lanes. Now we got the driverless Johnny Lightning in lane 1. Got to beat a 1.492 laid down by Zip and Zeke in that bonus car, purple Firebird. Oh, drove around him again, 1.493. Zip and Zeke moving on. All right, next up in the blocks, we've got the driverless King Kenny Pro Circuit Edition Ford Probe, labeled as a Buick, with the Tricks Ford Probe in lane 2 being driven by Dennis Taylor, Puffs Racing, Brown's Fantasy, and Forest Falls. Let's see it. Close race. Whoa, King Kenny pulling that one out with a 1.475 Pro Circuit. Swap them. All right, once again, we've got in the Tricks car, we've got Dennis Taylor, Puffs Racing, Brown's Fantasy, and Forest Falls. You guys need to gang up on the King. Gonna pull this one off. You gotta beat a 1.475. Let's see it. No, not happening. 1.472 for the King. Good time for both. King's moving on. All right, this ought to be a pretty good race. In the Mega Graphics Probe, we've got Henry Stanislawski, and driving that copper Mach 1 Mustang, we've got Sizzler Prime. Let's see which one's quicker. Mustang. 1.481. Let's swap them. All right, we've swapped lanes now. We got the 1.481 laid down by Sizzler Prime in that Mustang. Henry Stanislawski, you better step it up here in that Mega Graphics Probe. Let's see it. Can he do it? No. Mustang takes it. Sizzler Prime moving on with 1.487. Okay, this ought to be a good one here. We got Clay Olson in that white Plymouth Arrow versus James Ironbeard in the black Firebird. Let's see what we do. Good race. Firebird taking that one. Really close. 1.485 to a 1.489. Swap them. All right, we've swapped them. We got James Ironbeard laying down that 1.485. Now in lane 1, Clay Olson. The white Arrow going, buddy. Let's see it. And oh, he takes that one. 1.469. Look at that. Okay, next up we've got a driverless Tom McEwen Duster going against the white Firebird funny car driven by Chargin' Charlie. Let's see which one's quicker. Firebird taking that one. 1.489. Let's swap. All right, Chargin' Charlie laying down that 1.489. See if the Mongoose can match him. Not happening. White Firebird moving on with a 1.475. All right, this ought to be another good race. Couple of more probes going at it. Over in lane 1, we got the Evil Clown, Crazed Clown, driven by DXP Diecast Racing and Bugwood Racing. And then we've got in the Hershey's car, we've got Grateful Sam and somebody else, Zamac Speed Shop. Sorry about that. So let's go. See which probe takes it. Close race. So Hershey's taking that one with a 1.488. Let's swap them. All right, we Grateful Sam and Zamac in that Hershey's car laying down a 1.488. DXP and Bugwood, you guys need to step it up here in that Crazed Clown. Let's see what they do. Closer race, but 1.487. Hershey's moving on. All right, this should be another good one. Here we got driving the Motorcraft Probe Dog Squab Racing, and in the black Mach 1 Mustang Chase Family Racing. Let's see it. Chase Family and the Mustang taking that one. 8.7 to a 9.7. Let's swap them. All right, Dog Squab needs to beat a 1.487 in that Motorcraft Probe. He wants to move on. Chase Family and the black Mustang. Mustang once again, 1.474 to an 8.5. Chase family, moving on. All right, next round here. And this is actually the final two cars in round one. We've got in lane one in the Hot Wheels Classics Firebird Funny Car, Pat Downs. And in the classic Don the Snake Prudhomme Pepsi Challenger, we've got Bavarian Diecast Racing. See which one's quicker. And look at that vintage car roll with a 1.485. Let's swap them. All right, Pat Downs needs to beat a 1.485 laid down by Bavarian Diecast in that Pepsi Challenger. Let's see if Firebird can pull it off. Not gonna happen. Ooh, that was a close race. Look at that. By an unknown 10,000. That vintage Pepsi Challenger. Bavarian Diecast, moving on. Okay, moving over to the left side of the bracket, round two, we've got Juan V in that Pro Circuit Castrol GTX funny car, and a driverless Big Daddy Don Garlitz Johnny Lightning in lane two. And the Pro Circuit car taking that one 1.477. Let's swap them. All right, we've swapped lanes here. That Pro Circuit car being driven by Juan V, laying down a 1.477 time to beat. I got a soft spot for these Johnny Lightnings, but on this orange seamless track, they're just swimming a little too much. But he's still quick. Let's see what they do. And the Pro Circuit car taking that one 1.466. Great time. Juan V moving on. All right, next up, we've got the Bonneville being driven by Dutch Clutch, Elevation Diecast, and Larry Stipe. Ganging up on Numbskull, driving the blue Plymouth, lane one. Let's see it. Good race, Plymouth Arrow with a 1.472 to the 9.2. Let's swap. All right, Numbskull laying down that 1.472 in lane one in that Plymouth Arrow. Got Dutch Clutch, Larry Stipe, Elevation Diecast. You guys need to step it up here. Let's see what happens. Plymouth Arrow getting out and taking it with a 1.465. All right, here we got another classic Hot Nuts matchup. We got Mama Bombshell in that kind of scary looking tiki version of the Firebird funny car versus Craigster Sr. and this beat up old Kenner fast ones. Definitely a couple of scary and ugly cars with bumping uglies. Let's go. Kenner Fast Ones takes that with a 1.492. All right, Mama Bombshell got to beat me to the finish line with a 1.492 or better. Let's see it happen. Nope. In a 9.1, she does it. Over the 9.7. Mama Bombshell on that white tiki Firebird. Moving on. Okay, next we've got the driverless Hemi Challenger in lane one versus Slammin' Sammy in the Mega Graphics Firebird Dragster. Let's see what they do. 1.486 to 1.489. Let's swap. Camera glitched out a little bit on that last race. I apologize. We got to beat a 1.486 laid down by that Challenger. If Slammin' Sammy wants to move on, let's see if it can happen. And the Challenger takes it again. Closer race, but 1.475. Challenger will move on. All right, next matchup on the right side of the bracket, we've got Zip and Zeke in the bonus car in purple, and a driverless King Kenny Pro Circuit. Let's see what they do. Pro Circuit takes that one with a 1.476. We'll swap them. Alright, we swapped them up. Time to beat 1.476. I know some of these should be one and dones, but I'm going to give each car a pass in each lane just to be fair. And let everybody hear their names a couple of times. Let's see what they do here. Zip and Zeke. Pulling it off? No? No, not happening. King Kenny. 1.483. Moving on. Alright, next round we got the white Plymouth Arrow being driven by Clay Olson, and the copper Mach 1 Mustang by Zizzer Prime. Let's see which one of these is quicker. Clay Olson pulling that one out. The Plymouth Arrow with a 1.477. Let's swap it. Alright, lane swappage here. We got to beat a 1.477 laid down by that Plymouth Arrow driven by Clay Olson. Zizzer Prime and the Mustang's got to pop one out here. Let's see if it happens. Not going to make it. 1.472 by that Plymouth Arrow. Moving on. Alright, next up we got Charging Charlie in lane 1 in that white Firebird funny car. And then we've got Grateful Sam and Zaymac Speed Shop driving the Hershey's car. Let's see which one's victorious in this round. Hershey's car taking that one, the 1.477. Good race, we'll swap. Alright, Grateful Sam and Zaymac laying down that 1.477. It was a close race. Let's see if Charging Charlie's got anything for him. Oh, he had something for him, but it wasn't a faster time. So Hershey's moving on. All right, and this will be our last pairing for round 2. We've got Bavarian Diecast in the Pepsi Challenger in lane 1, and Chase Family Racing in that flat black Mach 1 Mustang, lane 2. Let's see what happens. Good race, Mach 1 taking that one with a 1.476. We'll swap. Alright, getting into the quarterfinals here. First up we've got in lane 1, Juan V driving that Pro Circuit Castrol GTX. And in lane 2, we've got Numbskull driving that blue Plymouth Arrow. Should be a good one. Good race, Plymouth Arrow with a 1.476. We'll swap lanes. Alright, Juan V's got to beat a 1.476 that was laid down by Numbskull in that blue Plymouth Arrow. Let's see if he can do it. Not going to happen. Numbskull with a 1.463. 1.466. Good times for both cars. Numbskull moving on. Alright, next quarterfinal round matchup. We got the driverless Hemi Challenger in lane 1 versus Mama Bombshell driving that Tiki white Firebird. Let's go. And the Hemi is quick. 1.484. Let's swap lanes. Alright, we've swapped lanes. 1.484 laid down by that Challenger. See if Mama Bombshell can beat it. Nope, that Challenger is quick. 1.476. Challenger moving on. Alright, other side of the bracket. Quarterfinal round, we've got Clay Olson, 131 Diecast in that white Arrow Stalker versus a driverless King Kenny Pro Circuit. Let's see which one takes it. Good race. The Arrow with a 1.478. Let's swap lanes. Alright, we've swapped lanes. Plymouth Arrow laying down a 1.478. That Clay Olson's car there is pretty quick. Starting to see a pattern with these arrows. And pulling that one off as well with a 1.470. Good race. Plymouth Arrow moving on. All right, this is the last quarterfinal round matchup here. We've got Chase Family Racing in that black Mustang over there in lane 1. And Grateful Sam and Zamac Speed Shop driving the Hershey's Probe in lane 2. Let's see what we got. Wow, that Mustang is quick. 1.483. Let's swap lanes. All right, Grateful Sam and Zamac need to beat a 1.483 if they're going to have a chance of moving on. Chase Family laying it down. Let's see what happens. Ooh, 1.472. Look at that. Great time. Moving on. All right, here we go with some semifinal round action. Lane 1 in that purple Hemi Challenger, driverless car. And in lane 2, we got Numbskull driving that blue Plymouth Arrow. Let's see what happens. And the tree comes down, and Numbskull takes that one with a 1.474. Let's swap lanes. Alright, well, I think I know how this is going to go, but we're going to run it anyways. Numbskull laying down a 1.474 previous lap. See if he can put him away. Does it with ease. 1.460 to 1.474. Numbskull moving on to the finals. Alright, here's the other part of the semi-final round. We've got Grateful Sam and Zamac Speed Shop driving that Hershey's Probe there in lane 1. And Clay Olson, 131 diecast, driving that white Plymouth Arrow. Ought to be good. And the Hershey's takes that one with a 1.481 to an 8.3. We'll swap lanes. All right, Clay Olson got to beat a 1.481 in that Plymouth Arrow if he wants to beat Zamac Speed Shop and Grateful Sam in that Hershey's car. Let's see if he can do it. .474. All right, before we get to the final, we're going to run to race for third here. That driverless Challenger, lane 1, and the Hershey's Probe in lane 2. See if Grateful Sam and Zamac Speed Shop can get that third place win. Boy, that Challenger got quick. Or that Hershey's car got slow. 1.485. Let's swap and give another chance. Alright, Grateful Sam's and Zamac Speed Shop got to beat a 1.485 if they want to grab that third place from this Challenger. See if they can make it happen. Nope, not going to do it. 7.3. So the Challenger will get third, and the Hershey's car will get fourth. Alrighty then, would you looky here. We got an all Plymouth Arrow funny car stalker. Clay Olson, 131 diecast in lane 1. Numbskull in lane 2. Be best time out of 3 laps. Let's see what they do. .470 to 1.476. We'll swap lanes. All right, Clay Olson got to beat a 1.470. See what happens. Numbskull taking that one too with a 1.467. That's 2 in a row. That's a great time. We'll run them one more time. All right, third and final nail in the coffin, possibly by Numbskull. See if Clay Olson can pull one out. Nope, that blue Arrow is fast. Congratulations, Numbskull, for picking that for the win. And Clay Olson, appreciate you hanging out. Valiant effort with the white Plymouth Aerostalker. Alright, so there was the winning time. And like I was saying earlier, I've got a separate category just for the funny cars in my case. I'm going to run back through the video and I'll finish out, fill out this rank here of top 12 with, looking at the video and reviewing those times. And I'll probably do some more running. I might run the top 3 against whatever weight category that they would be in to see if they get into the overall stack or what have not. Thank you, Dale. My Dale Earnhardt clock going off again. But anyways, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Doing a few laps with Craigster Sr. Hope you had a wonderful day off. Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Craigster Sr. checking out.